NFL meetings continue to go on. The owners' meetings out in Orlando, Florida. From those meetings, we hear Jimmy and Dee Haslams saying that they are close to extending the contracts of both head coach Kevin Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry. Let's welcome in Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report. He's the senior analyst there. And Fred, not a surprise. I guess the question would be, in your mind, how long do you think those contracts extend out for? So this year, plus how many more would you imagine?
Yeah, I think usually they're somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 years. I think the first one, that's what it was. You know, Stefanski just finished his 4th year. I think Berry was also on the same one, or they're going into the 5th year. So I think that's what they both started with. I mean, yeah, it's no surprise. It's really, when do you announce it? Now that the owners have pretty much, said it's going to get done. We felt that all the way. Kevin Stefanski, I think he's, if he has a season like last year, I think he'll be up there ranked about 3rd all time in coaching wins for the Browns. I mean, Paul Brown, Blanton Collier, have numbers, but I think he could even pass Marty Schottenheimer this year, Sam Rutigliano. So, I mean, what do you want out of a guy out of first 4 years? 2 NFL Coach of the Year awards. So yeah, he's a work in progress, but I think just like players, you've seen him get better, each year. The only thing I ever hear about is play calling, and you might not even have that to kick around, anymore. So as far as Andrew Berry, while we were waiting here, I was just looking at the roster, the depth chart. I mean, how can you argue with what Andrew Berry's done? Right off the top, there's 10, 12, 15 players that pop out to me that are probably the best that have been on this franchise since the return in 99. I mean, you have, just look at the number of Pro Bowlers and top players at their position. I don't know I know it's a low bar since 99, but even all time, you have a running back right up there, in the same breath as a Jim Brown or Leroy Kelly when he was healthy. And wide receiver with Amari Cooper now is right there with some of the best, Myles Garrett, on and on. So, no, I don't think it's a surprise. I just think it's when you're going to do it.
Yeah, and to your point, franchise droughts that were broken since Stefanski and Andrew Berry have taken over. First playoff win in 26 years, that was in 2020. First winning season, 13 years, 2020. One first season opener in 18 years, 2022. First defensive player of the year in the history of the franchise, that was last year with Myles Garrett. And the other thing, Fred, the more you hear free agents and guys that have even been here a year that have come from the outside, they've kind of done what they were trying to do in changing the culture. And that's not an easy thing to do. And it appears, I guess you're only as good as your last one-loss record, but it appears that this culture has been changed.
Yeah, I mean, money does speak. It used to be you had to really overpay to get free agents to come here in the early years of 1999. And even, it was kind of a joke in the media room. Guys just came here to cash out. That was their last contract, and they were getting end of the career guys for big money just to try to be relevant. Now, just the fact that they were able to re-sign some of their key free agents, is a testament that guys want to play here. Zadarius Smith had been moving around in recent years, and, Maurice Hurst, wanted to come back. I think Shelby Harris, who had kind of been a mercenary, going team to team. Rodney McLeod just re-signed. The punter re-signed. And so, those are good signs, and you've been able to bring in, outside players as well. And, I'll even allude to Mike Vrabel coming here. He's a pretty accomplished NFL coach, in his own right, and he's willing to come in here, plug in, learn from the Browns system, see what they're doing. So likely he can take it to the next stop he has, in the NFL head coaching carousel.